Hello Reformers and welcome back to Viking Conquest. Now, I'm running out of things to do here unless we can progress relatively quickly. So, I'm going to try in this episode either to join a faction so that we can actually start fighting enemy vassals and maybe taking over a couple of fiefs, and then starting our own faction by leapfrogging a little bit by, you know what I mean, defecting. Shh, don't tell anyone, because that's what we're going to try and do. Anyway, yeah, I was wanting to just go straight into creating our own faction, but it's very difficult to do that when you are literally just a bunch of farmers, basically. I mean, I have a lot of watchmen now because apparently Harold has been doing a very, very good job, and he's leveled up a bunch of our farmers into watchmen from the fortress. And I turned up and I was like, well, there's 33 watchmen over here? How did that happen? And yeah, apparently he did a good job there, so that was nice. I was just really happy that he didn't level them up into hornmen, that's for sure, because hornmen, well, suffice it to say, they're not exactly great. I mean, they're skirmishers, and they can probably do some pretty decent damage from mid-range, but they're not very good when it comes to fighting in melee. And I do have a bunch of peasant women and refugees now as well, by the way, because I went to a bunch of monasteries on my way here, trying to search for enemies to fight. And yeah, these enemies are, as you can blatantly tell, not exactly good. Yeah, they're not very difficult, and yeah, they're kind of easy. But this is basically the only big party that I have run into so far, and I don't know how else to level our forces up. Yeah, by the way, I have about 140 in my army because I, believe it or not, was wanting to go and siege something. And, well, that did not work out very well because basically I wanted to find a place that was a little bit weakened and maybe a small faction. And I went after a small faction. It's basically the faction that controls Cardiff at the moment. And I went to check what they have in the garrison there. And, well, they have 190 in Brishiniog. I don't know how to actually say it, but anyway, the point is the town or castle nearby to Cardiff has 190. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'd like to do that. And so then I I scouted around a little bit more, because you got to do this sort of prep work for an episode, so you know what's going on and everything. And basically what happened was I ran into two vassals that had over 400 units in each of their parties. And I thought to myself, wow, that's really not going to work out very well for us, is it? No, probably not. So that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? That is a bit of an issue. Beda is still complaining about Solveig, and I'm still going to say that she is a valuable member of this party. So that's a shame. Anyway, yeah, you can see here, I've literally gone all the way up, and I've just been... I literally went round here, and then I was going to go up again and just do another, rotation around. But I checked this place over here, has 190. Cardiff itself has about 480, which is to be expected. It's a big city, big town. And here, for some reason, I don't know why they were here, but two vassals, I think one was probably the leader of the faction, and the other one, both had about 460 units. And suffice it to say, they had a huge amount of very, very elite units as well. And I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to do that at any point. So I'm hopeful that maybe a leader of some kind is maybe going to offer me a vassalage or something, because it's been a while since we've had any opportunity to join a faction like that, because that happened a long, long time ago. It happened way back in Native, where I actually got an offer, and hopefully, considering I have 427 renown right now, I only have 3 right to rule, which I really need to kind of do something about, because I'm gonna send Beda. Yes, support my cause. Goodbye. There we go. Now he's no longer going to complain all the time, which I suppose is good. And let's have a look here. Wait a minute. Oh, bunches of my watchmen just died, apparently, because I had 33, but apparently I've now got 30. So, That's a bit unfortunate. Anyway, let's level up Asbjorn here. He has 4 points to spend. What is he going to be speccing into, though? That's the thing. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I guess Power Throw would help him out a little bit, and I guess Athletics make him a little bit quicker. And let's just give him some throwing weapon proficiency. Having 100 weapon proficiency in anything is a bit bad, but I guess, yeah, that's just what we could do at the time. Alright, so we have leveled up to 16, and I'm going to be leveling up our strength once again. I'd like to get, ideally, to 21 strength, just so that I can use that Troll's Axe. I'd love to be able to do that, but obviously it's not the most efficient use of my skill points or anything like that. I mean, I'm never usually very efficient, you know that, if you've been on my channel a while. I'm not really a min-max kind of person, so yeah, that is to be expected, I suppose. Anyway, let us get a little bit in throwing. There we go. Alright, so I'm thinking maybe we should head into the Strange Ruins here. I don't think we've actually done that just yet, so that might be kind of nice to break up the monotony of attacking a bunch of forces every now and again. I'd love to be able to fight some vassals. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to fight some vassals, but again, I just don't think I have the forces available. I mean, yeah, you know, I can level up these guys into camp followers, and I mean, look at this now for a second. Camp followers, they're level 18. They have no armor to speak of. Absolutely no armor. They are pretty good in terms of sling use. You know, they've got power throw, and they've got some power draw as well if they spawn with a bow. I don't know whether they do. Probably not. But yeah, they're all pretty decent. But soldiers' wives, again, still don't have good armor. Watchmen, they have some pretty decent armor, but they then level up into spearmen. I don't know whether I have any yes, I have 16. Spearmen are pretty good, but they're only exceptional when they level up into veterans, and even then, they don't actually have chainmail armor like the old captains do, and people like that. You know, you want someone that is going to level up into something that has chainmail, and unfortunately, I'm just unable to do that right now. I could, in many cases, go to each of the towns in these areas here and ask the Lord for permission to train units from there, and then I could basically just put all those units in the Free People's Fortress, and then they could level them, you know, Harold could level them up, and I could take them out myself, and we could eventually get some pretty elite units going on there. But it really depends on which kind of units, because I'd like to join a faction that is pretty decently sized. I don't want to join anything that's going to get eliminated in 2 seconds, so I'm thinking nothing too big, so nothing like this. Kingdom of West Seax is not particularly good. I'm thinking maybe something like this. The Kingdom of Lagin? I don't know. So something like that, perhaps, because it's got a very small area of Ireland, and I think it would be kind of cool to maybe take over Ireland again, because that's actually what we did in the previous version of, well, shall we say, the previous series of Britanwalder, and I thought that might be kind of fun. So maybe something like that. But for now, let's go into the Strange Ruins and see what's going on. Actually, I'm going to save before we go in there, because I'm a bit worried about crashes and things like that, because yeah, these kinds of scenes, they have a bit of, you know, some weird stuff going on sometimes, so I'd like to just be a little bit careful about that. I mean, look at this guy right here. He doesn't, in my opinion, seem to have a very good army. Yes, he has 156 units, but most of them are peasants, for the most part. I mean, you know, he has 20 peasants, 9 bowmen, 44 spearmen, which I don't think are actually that good. He does, however, have 7 veterans, 3 horsemen, 8 warriors, which I think are pretty good, and nobles. But the rest of them, not really anything to write home about, so technically, I think we could probably do quite well. Alright, so here we go. It's cold and smells old, taking you back to another time, a time when Rome ruled the world and men knew how to construct huge stone buildings of several stories. The pools, old recreation rooms, changing rooms. Everything is different now. On the right, you see a graffito on the wall that says Livia pulchra est, Marcus something. You are overwhelmed by the enormity of time. The men who built this are long gone. We are dust and our life is so ephemeral. Who could live forever? And once again, I'm having to read that relatively quickly, and we are joined by 2 of my companions, Helgi and Asbjorn. Alright, that seems pretty cool. Alright, so from what I remember from previous versions of... Did I just take 2 damage from falling down the stairs? Well, that's not very good, is it? Yes, but anyway. From what I remember, this is against a couple of bandits. Well, as you can currently see, we're fighting slave hunters. So, yes. And hopefully we'll be able to gain some pretty decent armor from this. I think the best armor you can get is either the one that I'm wearing or armor that you get from Odin's cave. Is that true? I'm not entirely sure. It's really been way too long for me to really know anything about what kind of items are available any further, so don't quote me on anything, really. Nice damage, nice dodge, nice slice, and maybe I could... where are my forces, by the way? What are they doing? They don't seem to be doing too much. Hello, Bandit King. Yes, I knew you were the Bandit King. Yes, it's just like Scooby-Doo and them uncovering the evildoer, and it's Dr. Marsden, the old scientist from the observatory. Yeah, it's like that. It's the Bandit King, but it's really Gregory Peck. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Alright, so far, things seem to be going extremely well, which I'm very surprised at. Because let's face it, I don't really think that we have the most exceptional gear for our companions, at least, but they actually seem to be doing a very good job so far. Which is actually making me a bit proud to see them do so much damage. Because you can see how much damage it actually takes for any of these units to die. And there we go. You've just killed the Bandit King's main bodyguards, rummaging through their things. Well, something or other. This is basically Odin's cave, but with a couple of bandits. A couple of companions to help you out. So that's pretty nice. These guys literally can't deal any damage to me right now, with the exception of that. Because I have such good armor on, and they're using all spears with shields. And if you go really close to them, they just can't get any leverage at all. No leverage, no speed bonus, no nothing. And that enables you to easily deflect any kind of damage. So that's the reason why I'm not taking any damage. I do still have my damage modifiers on the same thing. I know how some of you are. You do tend to be rather inquisitive, investigative about that kind of thing. But don't worry, I still have the damage modifiers on exactly the same. So, whoa, they got killed? Are you serious? Come on. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Seems like they are getting killed. Pretty harshly, actually. No. Yeah, there we go. That's what you get. That's what you get for taking out Helgi and Asbjorn. And there's level 17 for us. Thank you. Alright, there we go. Oh, we did it. Oh, we also got that. The bandits of slavers have been dealt with. Get the prisoners and leave through the air shaft. Really? So there are actually prisoners here? What prisoners? Where? And I have to leave through the air shaft. Where is the air shaft? There are no prisoners. Look, the one prisoner that's here is dead. Is this... I don't know. Okay, maybe I need to go further and find the actual prisoners. No? There's no prisoners. And there's no air shaft either. Where is the air shaft? I guess I have to go the other way. This is new to me, because last time I did this was also in Britain Order, I think, as well as, I think, Viking Conquest, the previous version. And I think this is a new thing, because last time you would just press tab and then you just leave and that's it. But it seems like there might be some prisoners here. That has me intrigued. That's why I'm looking around a little bit. But again, now my stamina is causing me some difficulties. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything going on here. Interesting. Anything over here? Ah, what is down there? I don't know, but Borgar wants to find out. So let's make our way down, shall we, and see what's going on. Oh, nothing? Are you serious? Okay, well, there you go. So we've done the Strange Ruins, and there's a bandit party over there, so we can actually do some damage to those guys. There's only 25, so I suppose that's just how it is. But at least we did something a little bit to break up the monotony, as I said. And that's kind of nice. I think that's always nice to get a bit of a fresh event going on. And the only other things that I can basically do are sieges and vassal battles. And as I say, I'm probably not capable of doing that right now without incurring heavy losses. So what I'm going to do is probably going to spend a bit of time off screen. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do daily episodes, but I guess just doing this. I mean, do you mind seeing all these fights? I mean, I don't know really, because it's just against bandits, and we are probably going to win. I mean, I think we need to find more difficult bandits. That's literally what I need to do. So I guess I'm going to try and find that. And who knows, maybe what I might be able to do is actually go to Ireland and see whether maybe the sieges and various enemies and factions over there might be a little bit easier. Because the factions over here are, well, suffice it to say, pretty well armored. And I don't know whether I really want to fight against 460 vassal strengths right now, you know, because I think we could actually do quite well if all of our units were leveled up extremely nicely. But at the moment, they're not, you know, they're just camp followers and, you know, all that sort of thing. But I want to stay with the theme, you know, I want to stay with the theme of being the free peoples. And, you know, welcoming basically anyone into our ranks. And so, you know, anyone that wants to join us, like Vikings or defectors or anything like that, they're going to be welcomed with open arms, and we're going to, you know, put them to work fairly and, you know, resourcefully and all that sort of thing, and that's how it's going to go. And hopefully it's going to work out quite nicely. But there you go, that's a nice victory for us right there. Obviously very easy. But we do have a large amount, shall we say, of prisoner space. Oh yeah, and I should also mention that we did get this, didn't we? We got this sword, which is actually better than what I'm currently using, so I guess I could use that. Why not? Let's use that, and then I can give that to one of our companions, and I can also give this to one of our companions as well, which is actually a fantastic piece of armor. So I don't know who I'm going to give that to. Maybe Solveig? I don't know, maybe Asbjorn? Oh, I actually don't know. I really don't know. So maybe Solveig. Let's do that. She seems to be... Actually, she's having problems with basically everyone, isn't she? She's having problems with Bodo as well, isn't she? I think that's the case. So maybe I should give it to someone else. I mean, Kaio already has good armor. So I guess Asbjorn or Helgi? Helgi. Let's give it to Helgi, because he doesn't actually even have... He has a shield, but he's not using it? Ah. Okay, well, I guess that's fine. Alright, yeah. So that's pretty good. And, yeah, so as I say, I'm going to be doing a little bit of off-screen. Maybe I'll just try and find some harder bandits, and then we'll have some fun with that. But other than that, I think I'm going to head over to Ireland. Not entirely sure how I'm going to get over there without ferrying everyone over for a huge amount of money, but I suppose I could just put some in the quarters, you know, on the coast here, and then just travel across with about 50 really good units or something like that. But oh, I don't know. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.